Not sure if anybody's going to show up. I really haven't even had a chance to get on and tell you that I would, in fact, be here, although I had said that I would earlier in the week. So we'll see if anybody joins in. I think it's going to be shorter than usual anyway tonight. Well, hi there, Myra. How are you? I cannot believe another weekend has gone. Absolutely amazing. The time is just flying by. Well, a few people have shown up. Hi there. I am trying to get so much stuff done. Hi, Alita. Nice to see you. Trying to get so much stuff done. And when I go too far and I do too much, I really pay for it the next day. My leg was killing me today. I could barely walk at the end of the day yesterday because I was working on a room upstairs and trying to get rid of lots of paperwork and shredding lots of stuff and just going through it, just methodically going through things one after the other. And it is a tedious process, to be sure. It is really interesting to me also. I'm finding ever since my interruption, shall we say, hi Mary, my life interruption last year, I notice, yeah, it is really it's helpful to do, but boy oh boy, yeah, daunting. But I have noticed that people tend to, whether they know you or don't know you, or are just meeting you or just see you, people have a perception of what somebody is going to be like based upon their notion of what you should be like based upon what they see. So rather than make it convoluted and complicated, the way that I walk, I told you it's not a normal gait by any means. It's a lot better than it used to be, but it really is the truth. And it's amazing to me that they determine your value based upon their perception about what a given thing means. And in my case, clearly it's the walking. Now, on the plus side, there have been people that I have never met who have been very nice and very kind. Yeah. They've been really nice and they have gone out of their way to be helpful. That's one side of the coin. And the other side of the coin is that I think, it's almost as if some people treat you as if you're not as smart, you're not as with it, you're just not, you're not part of the mainstream. And it's an interesting thing. And it makes me think about that whole concept when they got into, that People with Disabilities Act. And I can see a need for it because you're not different based upon something like that. There is something you cannot perhaps do as well or as quickly or as easily as somebody else, but it doesn't make you less than or less capable or less intelligent or less anything. And it's interesting. And it really, I mean, I've known this truth for a very long time. And that truth is that perception is reality. So it is that. Exactly. Really. It is, Lauren. It's like you have you have an incapacity. You have this debility, whatever it is, and they seem to make it far more far-reaching. And again, it has to everything people's reactions to anything has to do with whatever has been fed into their psyche for their whole life. And it just creates a picture. They speak louder. That's really funny. That really is funny. Yeah, I think, yeah, people do tend to do that. And then again, somebody might speak 6 languages, but English might not be their first language. And I think people sometimes perceive them as being not as bright if they can't speak it or if they don't understand it as well. And they might, in fact, be incredibly intelligent and incredibly, interested in learning and certainly have a tremendous capability to speak in many, many languages. I mean, for me, it's English. I know a few choice words in a few other languages, but nothing beyond that. And of course, there was always the good old Pig Latin, which I haven't spoken in many, many years. So it is interesting. Yes, today it's so much different because you can translate with the phones. Yeah, it's a really big difference. And I imagine traveling the world, if you're in a country where English is not spoken or not spoken generally, I would imagine that it makes life so much easier if you can simply talk into the phone and have it translate so that the people that you're speaking to understand what it is that you need or are looking for. Hi, Pat. Nice to see you. I'm glad you're able to join us. Um, wow, it's really hot in here tonight. I don't want to say that I don't know if my air conditioner is working at full capacity, but poo poo poo. It is it is what it is. I'm going to have to deal with it, whatever it is at this stage. So I am really, really killing myself trying to get things done. I really am. And no matter how much stuff I throw out, I always do I have a fan? I don't know if I have a fan. I think I might have one of those standing fans that I might have it in the basement. I'm not sure. I'm really not. But then again, I'm not sure if I do have one. I think I actually did buy one though at one point, and I don't think I ever opened the box actually, which is something I have done in the past. Yeah, it really might help. I can take a look, but I have to tell you, my biggest issue in trying to get stuff done, I'm able to do more. It's the heavy lifting that's a real problem for me. Hi. And every time I do that, my leg is just killing me. It's the one thing that I have a great deal of difficulty with. On the other side of the coin, I am so loving going to the gym and doing all my workout and doing the exercise and doing it for a little bit longer each time. It has been wonderful. Throw away or put to the side for donations. I'm throwing away all kinds of old paperwork and magazines and all kinds of paper. If I tell you it's big bag after big bag after big bag and it's heavy stuff. I also had a lot of individual tiles from a point at which I was going to redo my bathroom. It really does add up. And what happens is when I start to go through the stuff, I feel as if that's like that story that my mother used to tell me. Hi, Kathy. My mother used to tell that story when I was a little girl about the pot that kept cooking porridge. That these people had no money and they didn't have enough food to eat, but they had this magic pot that it just kept cooking porridge and giving them more and more. And that's how I feel about my paperwork. It's like the pot that keeps cooking porridge. So um, it's amazing. I have thrown away, I had all kinds of paperwork from work, and I finally said to myself, why are you saving this? I have stuff from 20, 25 years ago, deals that I had done, and I said, I'm at a different stage of my career at this point, such as it is. If anybody will ever use me again for that, but it's funny. And interestingly, I've been on this dating site, and I say that, I've had my profile on there for a very long time, but I haven't really interacted with it a whole lot. But every now and then I get people writing to me, and I'll write back, and it's been an interesting process. So part of what's been going on is that I keep meeting people who, well, some of them are real. I had an issue with a guy last night. He had contacted me weeks ago, and the first thing he said to me was about how kissable my lips were. And for me, that's a total turnoff. Ask me who I am, try to find out about me, tell me about you. Don't make it physical when you don't know me. So we wrote back and forth once or twice back then, and then nothing. And then I heard from him again yesterday, and he said, how did we lose touch? And I wanted to say to him, I give up. So I wrote back and I said, you tell me. So then he said to me, it's a great night for cuddling. And I thought, here he goes again. So I just was not in the mood for it at that point, and I wanted to let him know, don't go for the physical, when you don't know me. So I said to him, I don't typically cuddle with total strangers. Why don't you tell me something about yourself? Well, he got really nasty. That's why he's still single. Yeah, and it's interesting too, because a lot of the guys who have been writing to me are either widowed, or they're from Nigeria saying that they're widowed. I don't know, but this guy did say that he was divorced, and I wanted to say I know why. And he just so turned me off. I That was the last word I said to him. So, but then there was somebody else that contacted me, and it turns out that he is a builder. And I, of course, being a realtor, I said, well, now there's a match made in heaven. So, so I asked him where he builds, and he said he builds all over the island. And the last house that he built was not too far from me, but he said it sold pre-construction, which is always a great thing for a builder, because then they don't have to worry about how long their money is going to be tied up in a project before they can get it out and start the next project. But I thought, that could be an interesting relationship on more than one level. And then I heard from somebody who was much older than I am, which is a neat trick these days. But he sounded really very with it, really healthy, and exercises and takes long walks, and likes to read and likes to write and likes to do all kinds of interesting things. So, and to get back to the whole thing about how people perceive you, I am not going to lie to people. Now, clearly, if anybody wants to meet me, it is not going to be something I can hide, even if I chose to, which I wouldn't, because it's part of who I am. It's my reality. So the minute I say something, for example, that guy said to me, I love to take long walks. He said, do you like to take long walks? And I hesitated for a minute. And I said, well, right now I can't take long walks. So we got into talking about it a little bit. And I said, it's absolutely amazing. It's as if half the person you are no longer exists to the person at the other end of the conversation because you have this sometimes temporary, sometimes permanent disability, but whatever it is, it's a part of who you are. He could push me on long walks. Yeah, I mean, I really would be afraid to try a long walk at this point because I've gotten to the point lately, at least before yesterday, when I worked way too hard and hurt my leg. By the end of the day, I really could barely walk. I was frightened because my leg was killing me. And I said, I need to temper this. It's got to be a balance because otherwise it's going to be an issue. But, I've been trying to walk outside and have been doing it. If it's not too far, I walk without the cane. I feel more able to do it and less fearful about doing it. I hope nothing happens and I hope that that's okay. But I'm doing it part of the time when I feel that I'm able to. And I'm just thrilled with my ability to take the whole step now with my bad foot going up first because that's a huge improvement for me. So I'm really enjoying it. And I have whatever little spare time I have between doing the things in the house and doing the things I need to do outside and, trying to do things with the dogs and helping my neighbor out. Which reminds me, we're doing a little bit of decorating in her house, and I love that. I just absolutely love it. I really have been. Myra, it means so much to me because I feel as if it's really making me better. And I want to be better. I really want to be better. I don't want to give in to it and I don't want to give up. There are moments, there are moments, but I really don't want to give up. I want to do my part to do whatever the I would say the greatest capability that I have. I want to do that. I really don't want to give up. I remember when my aunt was with me the last several years of her life, and she went into the hospital. I took her in. It was actually on Labor Day because she had shown me, she picked up her shirt, and I do. And she had a pacemaker, and it was falling out of her body. And when I saw it, I almost fainted. But I didn't want to terrify her, so I didn't. I said, I really think we should get that checked out because it was falling out and she kept pushing it back into her body. It turned out she got an infection from it. And of course, the lead goes directly into the heart. And they didn't think that she was going to make it through the night. And I was her health proxy. And they wanted me to tell them whether to resuscitate or whatever. And it was the most awful thing for me to have as a responsibility because I really think if you have that responsibility for another human being, you damn well better know what they want. But I knew that she was afraid to die, and I knew that she really wanted to live, so I wanted everything done for her to give her the best chance. Thankfully, it didn't come to that, and she rallied and she was better. But what happened as a result was she had gotten very weak and she wound up going into rehab afterwards. And I kept saying to her, do the physical therapy and try to get stronger so you can come home. She never did it. She never did the physical therapy. She never was able to get up and walk again. And it was really sad. And I saw that when I was in rehab with a number of people where they would sit there in the wheelchair and they would take them into physical therapy, but they would participate. they were just going through the motions or not, and just looking forward to the time when they could get back into their bed. And for me, I remember my overwhelming feeling was whatever they told me I could do, I wanted to do more. I wanted to do even more. And I was doing great with it until I got the MRSA infection. And then I couldn't do anything. So then I really lost ground. But I mean, it is amazing. Tomorrow is July 1st, I think. July 1st. The year is half over. And in 13 days, it will be a year since my surgery. Isn't that hard to believe? It's a year. I'm just I'm just grateful that the time has gone by. I'm grateful for whatever I've gotten back of me. It does. It really does. And it flies whether you're having fun or not. But I'm really happy that that part of my journey is over, and I pray to God it never comes back. I know, isn't that amazing? It's a whole year. But I worry sometimes because the stress that I'm under. Oh, yes, I want to tell you about that. I really should have asked her if I could video a little bit. I did take a couple of screenshots, though, not screenshots. I took a couple of just pictures of some of the little stuff that we did. She had bought all of her big furniture, and the furniture that they have downstairs in their house is more modern than the stuff that they have upstairs. They are Indian from India, as many of you know, and they tend to like a lot of the Indian people that I meet tend to like very substantial furniture, usually that sort of Italian look furniture with the wood arms and heavy fabric and all of that. But she has a look that's not that downstairs. And I wish I could show you the picture, but I'll show it to you next time. The other phone has it in their den downstairs. They have a huge L-shaped sofa, and on the other wall, they bought this piece that is a faux fireplace, and it holds their television and all the other equipment. And they needed something else for that wall. And I told her to get a long mirror to hang on the wall, which she did get. And we didn't have a whole lot of width there. And we got, hello. And I got a short bench. She needed a bench so that when they came in the house, they'd have a place to sit down. And I love mirrors too. And they could take their shoes off and just have a place to do it where it was easy to do. So I put the bench in front of the long mirror, and it really looks wonderful there. It does. I'm fighting a little bit. The stuff that they have, some of it I would not have chosen. So I'm kind of, mixing my stuff in with it. But she wanted something for the kitchen, for the top of the refrigerator. And I found a couple of it was a simple little thing, and it's a little vignette, but it looks so good. It just looks so good. It is well, I don't wanna tell you about it because 'cause I'll show it to you, but it really looks nice, and we got a couple of little decorative pieces for something for the bathroom and for the dining room and for her bedroom. So we're slowly getting everything done, and, I just so love doing it. I really do. So, hi, Kathy. I actually had a lot of dust too. I think I had mentioned the last time that for the first time since before my surgery, I actually got up on one step of a stepladder to clean the top of my refrigerator. I didn't take the chance to get up to the second step because I was afraid of that. I was alone in the house and I didn't wanna risk it. But the first step I felt that I could do, it's, it's a two-step ladder, and it has very deep steps, so my foot felt solid on it, and it has this tall thing in the back that you can hold on to, so it made me feel safer. But yeah, there was a lot of dust up there, and of course, I had cleaned the top of the fridge. I guess it was the day before I went to the hospital, but that's a year ago, and I really haven't been able to do it, so it felt good to get that done. I'm getting whatever I can done. One of my biggest issues is all this stuff that I have now that I'm trying to sell online. It's so much stuff. Yeah, I do have a couple of long handle dusters, and to a degree, yes, but I need hi, Marla. Um, I'm hoping to be able to do it by the end of July. My birthday is the end of July, and I was hoping to give myself that as a birthday present. I have to do it. I mean, I really have to do it. The tension from the state of affairs that I'm in is just so bad that I am fearful that all the chemical changes in my body, it is soon, all the chemical changes in my body, I don't want it to make me sick again. So that's my goal. I don't know if I can get there, and we will see. Um, we'll see if it's doable. I mean, I'm working hard to get there. But my biggest problem is I need some money to get some small things done. I have to have some ceilings painted. I have to have my shutters done. I have to get some power washing done before I put the house on the market because it will make a huge difference in terms of how it looks and what I will ultimately get from it. And because, I'm going to need every penny that I can pull out of it, it's important for me to do that. So that's where I'm coming up. It's scary. And of course, when I don't have it, the temptation is to try to do what I can myself. And I don't want to hurt myself in the process because that's not going to serve me at all in the end. So I'm really hoping that I can get some of that stuff. I tried. Unfortunately, I called him yesterday and asked him, and I have to tell you, yeah, I have no clue where I'm going, Marla. I have absolutely no clue where I'm going yet. Um, and yeah, Kathy, I spoke to my son um, yesterday. I had a talk with him, and I told him, I said, listen, I'm desperate. I really am desperate. And I said, as soon as the house sells, I can give it back to you. But I really need it right now. So he can't do it, unfortunately. He would love to, but they just went through that whole restructuring of the business. And unfortunately, they just came out of it and they're ramping up now to start selling. And they have orders and they are doing it the right way this time. They're working with a co-packer and they're doing all the things that they need to do. But once again, it comes back to the same thing that it was the last time. There is an outlay of cash that you need until the money starts coming in. And sadly, what is it? I don't even know if it's net 30 or more than that. So they have to buy all the stuff and then they have to pay the people to do the work. They have to pay for the tubes that the cookies go in and all the stuff. And then they don't get paid for at least a month after the cookies go out to their destination. So that's fine when you're doing well and you have constant flow, but it takes a long time to get there. So the timing was off. So he doesn't have the capability of doing that. And for me to even ask, I hate to ask. I really hate to ask. I'm not good at it. And I try so hard to be independent, but it is what it is. So I don't know how I'm going to figure out that part of it, but I'm working. I'm doing everything in my power to do. It is what it is. What can I do? There's got to be a reason for all of this. Yeah, it's um, it's a tough road. It's definitely a tough road. Oh, really? Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, that's really interesting. Who is 60 and me? Hi, Sonny. Nice to see you. Um, I'm not sure which one 60 and me is. Oh, is that what her channel is called? I thought it was something else. Sandra? Sandra Hart. Is that it? I didn't think that was the name of her channel. I thought her channel was called something else. I mean, she did make a change and she did make a long distance move, but it's one thing to make a move when you're moving with somebody. It's also one thing to do it when you're in okay shape. I'll take a look. Oh, Margaret Manning. Is that it? Margaret Manning's, she's had a great channel for a long time. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, Margaret Manning's been doing really good kind of videos like that for a really long time. Oh, has lived in the US? It's Margaret? Okay, I think because doesn't Margaret Manning live in Sweden or I don't know. It is Margaret. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll definitely try to catch up. I'm trying to catch up with videos to watch them, but I feel like in Switzerland. Yeah. I remembered it was one of those. And yeah, she's got good people on. She gets good information. Yeah, we'll definitely watch that. I'm trying to catch up with everything. I have 3 or 4 pieces of regular videos for myself to put up. I did one working on grooming the dogs, but I only got a small part of it done. So I was hoping to get the rest of it done so I could piece it together. I started a video where I had gotten a request to do a shop my closet again for things we all go through. Yeah. Yeah. It's, I think the hardest thing for me, the scariest thing for me, she did make the move. No financial stresses at all. That's what I was going to say. When there's no financial stress and when you are physically okay and when you are with somebody else, it's way easier. When you are trying to do it on your own and you are not the person that you know at all, and you don't know what your capabilities are on a physical level, moving is stressful and a lot of work and hard and takes time to get past if you're in good shape. To do it in a position of falling apart is probably not the easiest way to go. But, listen, I'll get to it when I get to it. If I look at the whole picture, it's too daunting. I have to look at one small segment of it at a time until I can get to the point where I can make something work. And what is going to work in the end? I don't have a single clue. I really don't. I don't know. I'm, as I say, I'm taking it a day at a time. It is what it is. Somehow it's gonna have to work out. It just it's kind of like putting one foot in front of the other. Sometimes in life you have to do that one day at a time. Exactly. Absolutely, one day at a time. And we'll see. And sometimes at the end of it all, you wind up saying, "Why didn't I do this a lot sooner?" Baby steps, exactly. I mean, it is definitely baby steps. There's no question about it. I'll make it or I won't. And it's sort of all part of the greater plan. We'll see. I'm um I'm really kind of laser focused at this point on what I have to do to get there because again, it's been such a huge thing. And I said to David when I spoke to him again, and I spoke to I spoke to him this morning too. Yeah, I think so. Um, I said to him, "Are you coming in the end of this month?" And he said, "Yeah." He said, "We're planning to come in. I think it's the week of the 29th." I hope I can. I really hope I can. Yeah, no, I'm not. No, no, I am not. I'm a very old-fashioned gal. I really am. I had said that to the guy that I was talking to, the guy who was much older. He asked me to call him, and I said to him, "I don't call guys. I just don't." I said, "If you want to call me, call me." Yeah, right. Yeah, that would be nice. I would like to go home with him. So, yeah, I hope they do come. I'm not going to count on it until it happens. So, you know, I'm yeah, I don't know. I'm not really comfortable. I think maybe because I've seen the seedy side of it. Oh, which reminds me, Melissa, didn't you say that you had a date? Did you have it already? I'm losing track of time, or is it coming up next week? I forgot which. I like old school. I mean, it's just old school is just where I come from. I just it's next Wednesday. I hope it's wonderful. I really hope it's wonderful. I was going to be meeting this guy, and it's funny, the one who was older, he did, I mean, he was talking about that he's got a place in Florida in the winter, and I said, "This guy could be really perfect." So he said to me, "I hope that's not a problem for you." I said, "It's not a problem for me." And his son has a place in the Hamptons. I said, "That's not a problem either." But, um, he went from talking about that, and then he heard my dog bark, and he said to me, "Oh, you have a dog?" I said, "No." I said, "Actually, I have 3 dogs." And the conversation sort of turned on a dime. He said, "Oh," he said, "I don't know how I feel about that. I have to think about that." He said, "It's not that I don't like dogs," he said, "but, they're just too much trouble." And I thought, my instant reaction to somebody who is not an animal lover, it really it turns me off to a degree because I think people who are there's just something about people who are animal lovers. Exactly. Yeah. We are a package deal, there's no question about that. We absolutely are. No, I feel that way too. How could they possibly not like and when he said, "Oh, I really have to think about that," but then by the end we were on the phone for over 2 hours. By the end of the conversation, he was telling me he really couldn't wait to meet me, and, he really wanted me he just moved back to Long Island. He had lived in New Jersey for a number of years, and he just moved back to Long Island. And he wanted me to go to Long Beach and walk on the boardwalk. And I didn't know if I'm able to do that or comfortable doing that. I agree. I don't understand people who don't like animals. I mean, they're like the best part of who we should be. They're the best part of love. They're the purest. He's old. He's old. I don't want to say exactly how old he is because that's because just in case anybody who knows him. Oh shoot. Oh, my battery is low and I can't charge it here. Wait a second, maybe I can. Oh shoot. I'm gonna have to plug in my computer. I cannot believe I did this. This was not smart. Bear with me for a minute while I get this done. I'm so used to doing it in the other room, but I was in here working and I thought, oh, the heck, that I would do it in here tonight. Oh, no, yeah, no, he was. I felt it. Yeah. It's not, if you wonder, yeah, no, I think he also was saying that he, I believe it, absolutely true. I think the animals are like that. They love us. I just need to get on. Well, no, he said it's just too much trouble. Um, he was in R&D, and apparently his family is also very successful. So, but he was, let me just, hold on a second, I need to sign in. Because then I can use this to charge my phone. Okay. All right, so that should be okay for now. All right. Research and development. Yeah. And very intelligent. We had an absolute, we had an absolutely great conversation. There was not any lag in the conversation. But he was, I mean, he even started to say things like, first he said he really wanted to meet me and he was looking forward to it. And then he was talking about the fact that he has this he said he goes down to Florida for the winter. And he said, I hope that's not a problem. He said, maybe that'll be a problem for you. He said, you can come down to visit. And then he said, oh, but I'm getting ahead of myself. And then went from that to, I haven't heard back from him. So I'm assuming that either I did tell him about my problem. I did tell him that I had been sick. I did tell him that I was better, but that my leg, was taking time, and that I had an issue with it because of where the growth was, and I needed to go through this whole period of rehabilitation. So, but it's interesting to me that people can you know how when you have a conversation with somebody, there are kind of little red flags if you choose to look at them. I was getting those. I was getting little red flags. I really was. The dogs, that was a big one. Exactly. That definitely is an issue. Yes, they do get ahead of themselves. So it was kind of nice, but yeah. But he also had told me that, yes, I know. I know. It's like, you know what it is? It's not even a big red flag. It's like this tiny little thing that hits you in the gut, and it's like, do I have chocolate on me? I don't know. I did have a piece of chocolate. So, these little things that hit you in the gut where it's, that could be an issue, that could be an issue. It is important. It really is important. So, listen, if I haven't learned how to be, what should I say? Uh, Not accommodating, but what's the word I'm looking for? Where I can adjust my outlook, I can accommodate change, or, move on, on to the next person if there is one. If there is not, there is not. It is what it is. I'm not going to worry about that. The good thing about it for me, especially now with all of the really serious stuff that I'm going through, it's just nice to have a nice conversation that has nothing to do with all this other stuff. Oh, yeah, I'm sure that it is scary. There's a lot of scary stuff about it, Michelle. There really is a lot of scary stuff about online dating. There's no doubt about that. I told him when I was talking to him, because when he originally said, why don't you come to meet me here? Did I tell him I was selling? I did not. I did not. I didn't get that far into it yet. Um, and then again, he did ask in the course of conversation, we were talking about, I guess, the travel and all the places and, being able to just pick up and go. And he said to me, do you have to work? And I want to say to him, oh, do I have to work? But I said, yes, I have to work. So it is what it is. So it really was funny. But whatever is meant to be, it's going to play out exactly the way the script calls for it. And we'll see how that goes. I'm just, when I'm not bogged down in the minutia of all the things, the barriers to where I'm going. You know what I feel like sometimes? I feel like I'm in the rainforest and I have my, I don't know, would it be a machete or a scythe or whatever? But I've got it and I'm cutting through the dense vegetation to be able to take my next step. But every step I take, there's more vegetation to kind of slice my way through. And that's what my life feels like right now. There's a lot of vegetation that I have to get through. And by the way, I was absolutely shocked to discover that Century Village, which is pretty much the cheapest option out there that I know of in southeastern Florida, they don't allow dogs. They don't allow pets. I was shocked. I thought that Florida was pet friendly. You're in the same forest. Isn't it awful? It really is awful because you get to one place and you think that, wow, thank God I made it. Now I'm going to sit down on a tree stump and I'm going to catch my breath. But son of a gun, you can't do it because there's something else right ahead of you. And sometimes you're being chased by something that's going to catch up with you if you don't run as fast as you can. So yeah, it's not always easy. Your machete is dull. Yeah, I think mine is pretty much too. It it really is. If you ever feel like chatting, just give me a holler. I know it's not easy, and talking sometimes helps. But the West is very pet friendly. If you rest, you rust. Yeah, no, I don't want to start to rust on top of everything else. And Lord knows I'm not resting. Not at all. No, I really meant it. The African Queen, yes. Exactly. Yes, exactly, Melissa. That's so true. That's life. That's life. Yeah. Yeah. So it is what it is. Yes. I'm not giving up. You know what the funny thing, look, there's truth, and I'm a big believer in truth. I'm a big believer in not sugarcoating the truth. I don't want to whitewash it. I don't want to varnish it. It is what it is. And there are moments when I truly feel that I can't take another step, that I can't fight another fight, it's a battle I can't win, but I don't let myself wallow in it. So when it happens, I am, very aware, and I will try to do whatever it is that I can do to get me out of that moment where I feel like there's no out, because that's a scary place. That really is a scary place. And it's a place that I'm not too familiar with because that's not who I am. Yeah, I don't, I thought, I mean, he had asked me to call him when we ended the conversation. And as I say, we spoke for over 2 hours. And he told me he doesn't like to talk on the phone and he doesn't text. So, because he said that he didn't, that the screen was, the keyboard was too small. And he said that he uses voice to send messages. And he said the misinterpretations are hilarious because of, you know how that goes. So it is what it is. So what happened was he said to me at the end of the conversation, he said, I really want to meet you, and I'm going to let you decide where we meet, as much as I'd like you to come here. And I said to him, okay. And he said to me, will you call me or do I have to call you again? I said, no, I'll call you. Now, mind you, I said that, but inside I was cringing a little bit because there's still that old gal, that old world kind of, we just didn't do that. I come from that time. So I did call him the next night because I had made up my mind that I did not want to meet him there. And I thought, why would I want to go there during the summer, especially if it had to be on the weekend, but even not? During the summer, Long Beach, you cannot park there. It is impossible to park. And then I'd have to walk possibly blocks. That was not going to work. And I would be then looking for somebody I don't even know. So it didn't seem like a good idea. So I called to tell him that I wanted, in fact, to meet him. Really? Aw, that's really nice to hear, Lauren. I just, yeah, I mean, listen, if he does call me and if he wants to meet, I will meet him. But I have a feeling, my gut, intuition, whatever you want to call it, I get feelings about things. And I had the feeling the next day that he rethought it and that um, he was not going to do it because there were too many impediments to the relationship from his point of view. So it is what it is. We'll see. It'll play out however it's going to play out. I called, I left a message, and I have to tell you, it was not a turnoff exactly, but his tape on his phone, the voicemail is he didn't marry the second woman he was with. They lived together for years until she died. But it's her voice on his answering machine, and it's her voice saying thanks for calling us. And it really was off-putting for me because it was like, whoa, it's I felt like I was breaking up a marriage kind of thing. So it was a very strange feeling for me to get that. And I was going to mention it to him when I spoke to him. And when he didn't get back to me, at first I was disappointed a little bit. I did leave a message. And what I said was, I said, well, here I am calling you back. And I said, I will talk soon. And then I didn't hear back from him. So, yeah, the only thing was with that, he just really just moved last month. He just got here. The phone is the same, I guess the same one he had when he lived at the last place. And so I guess it was just, what the heck is up? What can I say? So, I don't know. I really don't know. And it might be something that gives him some comfort sometimes if he ever wants to hear her voice. So, who knows? But it is what it is. Yeah. Yeah, I mean it could be, but again, for other women it might be really off-putting. I'm not sure. So, we'll see. It's going to play out however it's meant to play out. Yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna I thought about calling him again today because I spoke to him Friday night and I called him last night. And I called him about the same time that he had called me because I figured he probably went out to dinner and he was probably just getting home. And I don't know. So we'll see. I'll let you know how it plays out. I just didn't want to get disappointed because it was just something to look forward to. It was something that was not embroiled in the situation. The ball is in his court, exactly. So he'll decide what to do, and then I'll decide what to do based upon that. So I may have no input. And as I say, he may have simply decided that number one, here I had this physical issue, and I had dogs, and whatever else might have been a turnoff to him, who knows? Yeah, yeah, probably. Yeah. I mean, that could be too, who knows? Although I doubt that. I mean, I can't imagine that that would be the case. I don't know. I don't know. It is what it is. And then I guess there's always some chance that maybe he went out, maybe if his son was out at the house this weekend, maybe he went out there. But even if he did, he's got his phone. No, he probably just didn't feel like calling. And I needed to get myself to the point where I said, it's okay. Whichever way it works out, it's okay. And I just need to look at it as an experience, and that's it. Yeah. Oh, yeah, no question that's a deal breaker. No question about it because I'm a package deal. I am absolutely a package deal. That seems like such a simple solution, doesn't it, Mary? Yeah. Oh, yeah, I mean, right. If I do speak to him again, I will definitely mention it. And again, not it might give him comfort to have it. So I am okay with that also. They are. They are my kiddos. They really are. And it's like, there's no way. I always wondered how people could say, oh, well, I'm moving and the place doesn't take animals, so I have to get rid of my dog or cat who is 11 years old or 12 years old. And it's like, how do you do that? It's like kicking an old person to the curb. How do you do that? I made a commitment the day that I took them. It was really till death do us part. And I can't conceive of it any other way. And people keep telling me, it could come to you having to make a choice. Exactly. Exactly. Is he a snappy dresser? How could I possibly know? I haven't met him yet. Yeah, I mean, I love them and I care about them and I made a promise. And I don't think promises are made to be broken. I really don't. Although I have sometimes had visions of myself sitting out in the street in front of my house, burning my furniture to keep warm. So, but yeah, I just, and again, I said even this thing about you can only have one or two animals. So it's like Sophie's Choice. Who do you pick? There's no way. There's no way. I mean, it's like, no, no. I would like a real gentleman. That's what I'm looking for. I want, exactly. I want to, I just, something, I want a drama free relationship with somebody who is nice and caring. Oh, my bad. This is hilarious. Now my battery is running low on my computer because I forgot to plug that in. So let me see if I've got the plug here. If it's here, I can plug it in. Otherwise, hold on, hold on a minute. This is crazy. I'm going to have to put this down for a sec. That's hilarious. Oh, that's funny. That is really funny. What? Am I upside down? I don't know which direction I'm in. Oh, there we are. Well, that was terrific. Am I upside down? Yeah, no, I would never. No. I am looking for some, am I upside down now? No? Okay. I am looking for somebody who will fit into my life. If in fact there is such a person. I'm blurry. I am feeling blurry. Blackout? Okay, that's not good. Do you see me any better now? No picture? The screen is black. All right, let me see if I'm online. All right, let me get out of this. Do you see me now? It says I'm live. Jerry has left the building. Am I back? That's hilarious. I'm a giant. Oh, that's really funny. Well, I don't know how to fix it. So, You can see my pores. That is pinch the picture? Oh my god. How do I what the I don't know how to fix this. Is that any better? Except I can't see you now. Pinch the picture. I'm trying to pinch it, it doesn't pinch. Am I still huge? Now I'm black. OMG. Okay. I am thinking then that for some reason I'm not supposed to be on here. I'll try to fix it one more time. Hold on. Okay, tell me if I'm on. This is hilarious. Am I back? Can you still see my pores? I'm fine. Yay. Okay. That is so funny. No pores. Good. Good. I mean, it's bad enough in real life that you can see my pores. Son of a gun. So where were talking about, yeah, that somebody should not take over your life or change your life to make your life work with theirs. So, yeah, I don't know. Um, yeah, it has to be, something. You're right. They're very quiet tonight. I think they're here. I think I let them in before, and I don't want to get up again to look. That would be funny, but if I left them outside, one of them would start barking to come in. That's how you're seeing it, that he's right for me? Yeah, I don't know, perhaps, listen, somebody could really feel, especially as you get older, that I bring too much baggage to the table, and it's true, I do. So they may not want that. They may be looking for somebody who is easy to be with, where there are not all the issues that I have. And you just listen, there's also the future is uncertain. Yeah, technologically challenged. Yeah, everybody has baggage. That's true. Yeah, that's really true. I just, I guess part of me is maybe a hopeless romantic, that I'd like to think that there would be somebody who would just be nice, that I would want to spend time with, and that he would want to spend time with me, and that we would care about each other. Wouldn't that be nice? So I don't know if that's something that's available out there. I don't know if this is going to be the start of one of those crime shows that I watch. Share luggage with. That's good. That really is good. Yeah, I'm certainly willing to share the bags under my eyes. It's always give and take. It has to be. It really has to be. And I'm willing to give, but I'm not willing to give up. And I'm not willing to give everything. And, for me to just, oh, Patty, hi. Glad you're here with us. I don't want to mention his age because just in case anybody happens upon this and knows him, but he's considerably older than I am, let's put it that way. Um, which is fine. It really is fine. So, he's over 50, right? Exactly. And I'm looking for somebody who is compos mentis. What did you miss? Well, we've been talking a little bit about, um, you're sort of in the ballpark, and, yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, he seemed extremely open in talking. I mean, he actually told me a lot about his life. He told me that I wasn't as open as he was, but, oh, I'm trying to remember if I know that. I don't recall in his case. I'll check for next time. I really don't recall. I laugh when I look at it, and some of them are Virgos, and some of them, so far, I seem to have met online, or at least connected with on some level, Leos, um, Cancer, Scorpio, um, for a few Virgos, a number of Leos, couple of Cancers, Aries, and I think there was one Sagittarius, and the Sagittarius made me nervous because my husband was Sagittarius. I'm a Leo. So, yeah, I'm not sure how two Leos in the room would work. That's a good question. What is your sign? Wow, it sounds like an opening line for a dating thing. Did someone ask you out? Sort of. I mean, yeah, we were supposed to meet. Aquarius. Virgos make you nervous? Yeah. Oh, Myra, son of a gun. Yeah, Virgos make me a little bit nervous too because they like things just so, at least my experience. Capricorn, my brother's a Capricorn. Aries, my father was an Aries. Aquarius, I actually have Aquarius rising. Capricorn, son of a gun. Yeah. Yeah, and I like people who are okay with flexibility. Love Sagittarius. Yeah. Libra. Libra's a great sign. You're Leo also? Son of a gun, look at that. Yeah, we're all over the lot. You're a no, I just August 21st. Your husband was Sagittarius. My husband was Sagittarius too. Fire signs, right? Yeah. Capricorn. Capricorns are such hardworking people. They really are. They just put one foot in front of the other and just go. They go and they do whatever has to be done to get to where they're going. Your husband was a Leo? Yeah. Yeah, I really get along with everybody. There's nobody that I don't. I had a very close friend though who is a Scorpio, and she's fantastic. But do not get her angry. Do not. He's an Aries. Yeah, that's great. That really is great. Yeah. I adored my father. My father was, yeah, just, they're kind of like leaders, and they know what they want to do and know the way. I spoke to Linda. Yeah, we had a conversation. As a matter of fact, I'm going to see her tomorrow. Uh huh. That's great. Oh, thanks, Mary. I appreciate that. Were they really? That's amazing. Stubborn Swedes and Germans. Yeah. I really don't have a lot of experience on a very, on an intimate level with people of other cultures. Um, I mean, I'm friends with, so that I don't really know. But yeah, and then again, when some of these guys on the dating sites, they say that they are one or the other of whatever it is, and it turns out they could be anything. They could just be anything, because I'm so tired of the ones who just don't tell the truth. I don't deal well with people who tell lies a lot. I just don't. It's because you don't know who you're dealing with. You don't know who the real. It's kind of. It always reminds me of that television show they used to have many, many moons ago. Um, what was it? To tell the truth. Will the real so and so please stand up? And that's how I feel about it. I mean, I had a really scary experience on Facebook several years ago, and I think I might have mentioned it before, where this guy had wanted to friend me, and I ignored him for a very long time, and I didn't know the dangers of it at the time. And finally, I did friend him, and he was just so nice. And then he started writing to me, and then eventually we started texting, and we were supposed to meet. And then he gave me this whole story about the fact that he was an engineer, and they're always engineers. They are always engineers. It's really wild. And that um, he was going to be doing a job in London, and he was going to be there for at least 6 weeks. But he gave me his cell phone number. He told me that I could call him. And we were supposed to meet for lunch, and we were going to meet for lunch at a place that I knew the people knew me very well, so I felt safe there. And he called me, not called me, he texted me or called me, I don't even remember now, shortly before I was supposed to leave to meet him, to say that they called him and he had to leave immediately to go to England. How was lunch? Lunch, I don't know who you're talking to. Lunch with, oh, with my friend Jackie? Yeah, yeah. That was really funny because we went to this place that we used to like a lot. No, no sales. And we went to that place, and the food was not good. Yeah, it was just not good. And I was so disappointed because I was so looking forward to it. Well, I want to tell you that the dogs are here because Bailey just jumped up. So yeah, I was disappointed because it's like it's such a big deal for me now. When I go out to lunch, it's like a really, really big deal. I had gotten to the point where I was fooling myself into thinking that I was going out to eat. Yeah, that I was going out to eat twice a week on my own. I mean, I was in a way, but it was really hilarious because one day a week I try to get myself a slice of pizza. And one day a week, I try to get myself the quarter pound of tuna salad and quarter pound of potato salad, because the tuna salad and potato salad are usually anywhere from $3 to, say, three and a quarter for the two things. And I tell them to give me crackers with it. And I bring my flavored water to drink with it. And when I get the slice of pizza, the pizza's 2.75. So it's like my big thrill for the, and it's some days I just need to do it. I just need to not eat that other food that I'm having all the time, and I need to just get out and feel like I'm doing something a little special. So, it's on different levels. It is what it is for any given time, and that's it. It's funny, when I was talking to Linda today, she was saying that last week, she went out and bought $40 worth of lottery tickets because she so desperately would like to win the lottery to make things better. And she said, of course, in the $40 worth of tickets, she won $2. And I said, yeah, that's the way it goes. And I said, I wish I could buy lottery tickets at this point. I would never buy a lot, but $40, yeah. And that is a really, really big deal for her because she's not frivolous when it comes to money. She's cautious. And yeah, so it was definitely. I know I sold the black heels a while ago. Yeah, the black heels sold, I guess, a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, no, I've had lots of likes, but it's kind of like, what is that? Lots of likes. What is that expression? Lots of something but no cigar. I can't think of the. I'm losing my mind. Yeah, and it's frustrating because I keep looking and looking and looking, and I had one close but no cigar. Thank you very much. Duh. I had. Oh, honey, please relax, relax, baby boy. You were just out, honey. You were just out right before mommy brought you in. So go rest. You go rest. I have to be careful the way I talk. If I talk too loud or too animatedly, they think I'm talking to them, so they want me to get involved. I sent, yeah, I sent lots of private offers, something to show for $40. I know, I agree, I agree. I've never been one to really gamble a lot. Exactly. I just, yeah. I actually had a friend who won a big lottery many years ago. It was the biggest one at the time. It was $167 million, I believe. It was in New Jersey. So, food for your tummy, right? Exactly. Go rest. Go sit. Go sit. Bailey, go sit. Bay, go sit. Be good boy. Go be good boy. He could have me let him out 100 times a day. When I get out of here, I'm going to have to kill myself. Yeah, it's just, he keeps doing that. They just came in. Can you imagine what it would be like? I just can't even imagine what it would be like. When I saw that my friend won back then, it was, they had an article in the paper, and it was like, whoa, that certainly changes your life. Although I was watching some YouTube videos on people who had won big lotteries, and a lot of them, a lot of them went bankrupt within years. They spent a fortune. I don't believe that I would do that. I really don't believe. Lots of them do go bankrupt. They do. Some of them have been good about it, and they say the first thing you should do is get yourself a good attorney and get yourself a good accountant. You need a money manager. You need somebody who's going to handle it for you because you're not used to it. I mean, there was one guy, they said that he went out and bought a plane. Give me a break. The one thing I would definitely buy, and I think you all know what that is. Yes, yes, they do come out of the woodwork. That's why some people said that they insisted on remaining anonymous, and they suggest, in one of the videos where they were saying what you should do, they were saying that you should, move out of the area, move to a completely different place, because if you tell one person, they'll tell other people, and then everybody will know, and you will never hear the end of it. You're gonna have long lost relatives from everywhere in the world. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm gonna have to let him out. You wanna wait? Let me know, because if you wanna wait, I'll have you never tell a soul. Exactly. You can't do it. Okay, I will be right back. You're gonna be staring at the ceiling for a minute, couple of minutes. Okay. Okay, you. All right, all right. Watch it, baby boy. Watch it, my sweetheart. That's my boy. Okay. Come on. Come on, little fella. There you go. Do you want to go out with him? Do you? Come on. No? Okay. Yeah, wouldn't that be nice? Okay, just wanted to catch up. I have friends living in Texas. In Yeah, I have to tell you, it was so hot here yesterday that it was unbelievable. My friends are in, well, they were in Richland Hills, is it? North Richland, something like that. And now they moved, but I think is it the DFW area? I think they moved into a new subdivision and they got a beautiful place. They downsized from a very large house and they got a beautiful place, but I think they have three or four lots of earthquakes. Oh, swell. Um, a large piece of property with lots of cabins. I don't know. I mean, Dallas, Fort Worth, yeah. That's where they are. And they're just, I mean, they're in such a nice development. What a pretty house. Not Richardson. No, I think it was North Richland Hills or Richland something. Cabins would be great. Yeah. I love the idea. I'm telling you, I used to think that Linda was crazy when she wanted, her dream always was to win the lottery and have a commune, home of the oil rigs. Yeah. I know they had ice in the wintertime a little bit, but not too much. But yeah, I can absolutely see the value, or not even the value. I think it would be fun. I think it would just be fun to have the people that you enjoy being with, spending time with, interacting with. Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah, I remember when they first moved down to Texas, I was so devastated when they left here. I just missed them terribly. They became very good friends of mine. They started out as clients, but they became very good friends of mine, and I absolutely adore them. They came to visit me right after I got home from the hospital, and they spent hours with me. It was just lovely. Oh, really? Yes, it is it near Orlando? Or was that in Ocala? I forgot. Exactly. New York is where I want to stay. I get allergic smelling hay. I just enjoy a penthouse view. Darling, I love you, but give me Park Avenue. I remember that well. Yep. Yeah. Ah, yes. No, I think I just I don't want to do the winters anymore. I just don't. I have heard some very good things about the villages, but now I'm told it's also she was absolutely beautiful, no question. That it would the villages are in the middle of nowhere, or did they also tell me that about when I looked at the homes? Did any of you look at it? The Four Seasons. Oh, did you really? How did you like living there, Kathy? I had when I looked at the Four Seasons. The who was it? Not Pulte. It's the other one. Hovnanian. Kay Hovnanian built homes. I just loved it. Lots of horse farms. I love horses. I really, it's over 50. Yeah, it's 55 and over. Yeah, there is that. But there was just something. Oh, did you? Yeah, Jaja was. I thought that Ava was a little more delicate looking. They're in a remote area. That's the problem. I don't want to be in a remote area where, there is that, but then there's nothing. What is Slocala? I don't know. Does that mean that things are slow? I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm understanding. Everything is, oh, Slocala, duh. Sorry about that. Yeah. Oh, no. I come from New York. I don't understand slow. Oh, is that what it is? Did you love it? I actually did watch some YouTube videos. There is a realtor there. There's a guy who sort of did drive-throughs to show you some of the neighborhoods and, some of the situations with parking or lack thereof. But I didn't get to see the inside of the units. Listen, it's like it was so nice having this dream once I saw that the Hobnanian thing because everything was wide open and it just felt open and pretty and I guess everything had been feeling so dark and gloomy that seeing something that was open and pretty was a nice respite. So it was good. I have no complaints about that. So, I don't know, I'm still investigating. Del Webb? I don't know. Yeah, but again, my concern is because of my issue. I need to know that there are people who know, really know sarcoma, and that's very specialized. And I pray to God I never face it again. But if I ever face it again, I really want to make sure that I have people who know what they're doing. Oh, I don't want to face it again. I don't even want to think about it. It's not going to happen. It is not going to. It's like I told the doctor when she said I was going to have to wear a brace for the rest of my life. I said, no, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to walk without it. I'm going to be fine without it. So I'm going to go on the same assumption that it's not going to happen. But once again, you can understand that when you've had something like that where the specialized knowledge is so important, that that would be a major, major concern. Now, I forgot where the Hovnanian place was. I think that was, oh, that was in Kissimmee. I think that's the way I'm supposed to say it. Kissimmee, Florida, which I gather is right near Orlando. I don't know if they have the villages in other states. That's what I've heard, near Orlando. Yeah. Although, right by Disney. Yeah. Although some people have said that being in the middle of the state, it's going to be hot as hell. And, it's like this, in near the ocean. I've lived near the ocean my whole life. So, well, but it is what it is. I'm going to live wherever I'm going to live. Oh, you did live there. I remember, Marla, that you were not able to tolerate Florida at all. But when you were having such a hard time, were you in Sarasota at that point? Or no ocean breeze, right? Oh, okay. So you hated Central Florida? It's hot as hell all over Florida. Oh, really? Mm, mm, yeah. I don't know. I have no idea. I think maybe it would be lovely to do what that guy does, spend some time not in Florida and then the winter in Florida. So you have the best of both worlds. The cost of living is great. Oh, that's good. That's certainly important. One of the things that I watched for one of the, might have been the villages, I don't remember, where they took you into town, and wherever he took us, it looked terrible. Closer to Ocala, Gainesville. Yeah, I would stay indoors too. I mean, I listen, I stay indoors here when it's terrible weather in the winter. So what would be different than staying indoors for the summer? The low cost of living would certainly be helpful. Although I have to tell you, when I was looking at some of those places, I mean, even Century Village, the those HOA fees, some of them were pretty high. Plus what was the other thing? Pensacola. I have no knowledge of that area at all. A friend of mine is actually down in Florida right now as we speak, my friend Gail. She went down and, she has a friend who moved down to Vero Beach, and she loves it. She's so happy there. They bought in a community. It's not a 55 and over community, it's an everything community, but there are a lot of people 55 and over. Vero is nice. Yeah, sunset to 10 p.m. Right. Yeah, I have to tell you, I had to go throw out my garbage tonight. I told you I did a lot of stuff, so I had a lot of garbage to throw out. And, I went down, I wanted to make sure I did it before I came on. No property taxes after 65. That's great. That's really great. Um, and I went down, it had to be, I guess it was a little after 8 o'clock at night. It was still light out. It really was. That's the one thing I love. I really love. I enjoy the longer days. I hate when it gets dark early. I really do. I find it extremely depressing. So it's nice to have the longer days. Alabama's beautiful. I've never been to Alabama. I'm sure my son he's been to almost every state in the union. Although I think I told you recently he went to Washington State and he had never been there before and he really liked it. Gulf Shores. Yeah. Yep. I feel a little bit like a displaced person. Imagine how it must have been many, many years ago. Yeah. When people came to the United States from Europe, I mean, even now, when they come wherever they come from, how amazing that they would leave everything behind. Oh, does he really? Yeah, very, very brave. I mean, they left everything they knew. They came here with no money, and they just had faith that they were going to make it here because this was the better place to be. And when I think of that bravery, I don't know that I would have been that brave. I don't know. Yes, absolutely. With the language barrier, and that was before they had translations on phones. Really, I had a partner in real estate for years, my partner and friend, Mary Lestrange, and Mary came from Ireland, and, I mean, when she came, she didn't see her mother for years. As a parent, I couldn't even imagine it. I don't love that David's in California. I would hate if he was someplace. Yeah, I mean, it had to be so hard for those people. My grandson was doing a project for school, and I needed to help him at one point by getting him some information about my grandfather. And right. And I got the manifest for the ship on which my grandfather, my maternal grandfather came to the United States, and it showed on the manifest what each person, who they came with, if they came with families, what their ages were, what they did for a living, and how much money they had. They had him listed as having been a painter. I think he was 26 years old when he came here, and he had $2. $2. Can you imagine? Here I am freaked out by what I'm gonna be left with, and my grandfather bravely came to the States with $2 in his pocket and made a life and had a family. Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, they were stalwart souls. They were so brave. and some of those people never saw their families again. It wasn't like now when people can travel so much easier. Yeah, right. I mean, the case was, I know with my grandmother, she came here and she had a sister who was already here, so the sister took her in, and she stayed with the sister, and she did, I believe, $2, would you think? Oh my god, it's just wow. I can't even imagine it. I think she I think she did, I may be wrong, but I think she might have been in the garment industry as it existed at that time, and until she met my grandfather and they got married. They ultimately bought a house, which had to be a really big deal. Coffee was probably free. Minimum wage, oh my god. They used to work hard. They really that was a thing too, because they were saying back in the day, all of the people who emigrated to the United States, they didn't expect a handout. They expected to work hard, and yes, they had child labor, they did, and it was just they did what they had to do, and they brought up their children, and they wanted their children to have an education, and it was really an amazing thing when you think back. I loved the movie Brooklyn. Did anybody else? I really just loved that movie. I bought it. I used to watch it a lot in the car. I actually ought to try to find it and watch it again. I haven't watched it for a while. But I found that movie so touching in so many ways. Oh, it was a wonderful movie. It was really a wonderful movie, Lauren. If you can find it or on Netflix or whatever, you should try to watch it. I'm really happy that you did too. Glad you made it in time. Yeah, we've been chatting for a long time, actually. So, yeah, I'm beginning to think maybe it's time to it was the early part of the century. Wait a minute, was it the early part of the century? Or did they come before? They might have come in the 90s, my grandparents, because my mother was born early in the century, and they obviously were here for years before that. So it could have been the late 90s. Wow, really amazing when you think about it. When I look at the old pictures of my mother and father, it's amazing. It's just amazing to be witness in one way or another to a whole life story. Reminds me of sometimes when I go into houses when it's either an estate or it's a house of somebody. Yes, absolutely. Yes, yes, that is true. But my mother always used to tell the story about she had two blouses and a skirt, and that she would switch the blouse. No, she must have had two blouses and two skirts, and she would switch, and one would be washed while the other was being worn, and that's the way it was. Yes, it was. They love it in Central Florida. Have they been there a long time? My mother always used to tell the stories about the apartment that they lived in Manhattan, and the bathroom was out in the hallway. People didn't have their own bathrooms. I mean, now people want multiple bathrooms. It's like, how could you live in a house with one bathroom? They didn't have a bathroom. The bathroom was in the hall, and several families shared the bathroom. When you think about, and of course, they had no phones. So, yeah, I wouldn't live there either. I really wouldn't. One bathroom, right? My partner raised 6 children in a house with one bathroom. That's what it was. Hello from Vancouver. Nice to have you with us. So, yeah, I mean, we are really spoiled when you think about it, when you think about how much harder it was for them. But then again, they didn't know any better. It just was what it was. When they finally did get telephones, my mother used to tell me that there was, I don't remember if it was a candy store, but there was a store about a block away and they had a phone. So when anybody wanted to reach you, yes, they are. They absolutely are. I hate it with a passion. So somebody would run over to the apartment building where the person who was getting the call lived, and they would say to come down to the store that somebody was calling them. And that's what they did, and they must have felt so blessed to have the ability to talk to somebody on the phone. I remember when I was a little girl, when we got our first telephone, it was a party line. You would pick up the phone, and often somebody else was on it, and you would have to wait until they got off until you were able to use the phone. It reminds me of, was it the movie Pillow Talk? It was one of those Doris Day, Rock Hudson movies where she had a party line. That is funny. Eavesdropping, exactly. Exactly. But it was so great to have, doesn't it? Yeah. I remember the movie theater that I saw that movie in because I went there. I was dating my husband at the time. Oh, the battery's low again. I didn't keep the computer on, so the battery went low again. All right, I'm going to have to sort of pack it in, I think. Oh, ow. Oh, my leg. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Oh, I definitely did too much. Rock Hudson and Doris Day, yeah. I loved those movies. I really did. They were so good. That was before I knew the improbability of it all. And then, of course, when she did the ones with James Garner, I loved that too. I loved James Garner. There was something about him. He just seemed like such a nice guy, like a real nice guy. Yes. Isn't it great? I'm just a hopeless romantic, truly. Truly I am. I shouldn't be at this stage of life, but it was fabulous. It really was. Yep. Oh, do you remember the movie she did with Cary Grant talking about fabulous wardrobes? That Touch of Mink, where he buys her all those clothes and they have that fashion show and they have all those glamorous clothes. Yes. Yes, a dreamer. It's I think it's good to be a dreamer though, because real life can be very tough sometimes, and having a dream, if you have that little escape even for a little while, it's like a pressure valve. It really is a pressure valve, and I think we need a pressure valve sometimes. So it's a good thing. It is what it is. I'm really happy that we had this was such a great, relaxing chat tonight. I hope you feel that way. I really enjoyed it, and it took me away from some of the trials and tribulations. He's wanting to come back in, no doubt. All right, so I'm gonna end it at this point, and I will see you all on Wednesday. and I'm gonna try to get at least one of the videos that I have done up for a regular video. The Great Escape, exactly. So take care, everybody. I had a lovely visit with you, and I will see you soon. Good night.